living God. I believe in the power of the living God. Timelines are changing rapidly now. Wake up, wake up, wake up! It is time we are here. If you must sit there and judge me and how this message is coming to you today, then so be it. I myself claim the love of God. I claim the power of the living God, and I create my own reality. I claim the power of the living God to create the timeline that I prefer, and I wish that upon every one of you. How do we create the timeline that we want to live on, Rev? And why should we trust you in that get up and you just dance it around? Because I don't give a good goddamn what you think of me. I know who I am for me. And I work on perfecting me every single day. That is my full-time job. Every trigger, every program, I work to get to the bottom of. And I wish that for you right now and invoke that onto you right now. And so it is, amen. You stumbled across this video, or you watch all of my videos. You judge me, you love me, or you hate me. All of these are energies that I use and I draw to me, and I turn into pure love, pure light, and the power of the living God, and I turn that energy into the timeline that I prefer to live on, where the people have the power, not as a collective and not as a group, but individual sovereign rights. Individual rights for you and individual rights for me. You shall not infringe upon me, and I shall not infringe upon you. Oh, there's those that say, you are the infringer, Reb. You are the light. All I've done to you is cast my light into your shadowy corners. I did not create the mayhem and the darkness and the sins that you were doing in the dark. All I did was flip on the light of God and invoke the power of the living God and claim the love of God for me and for you. And raise the vibration of Mother Earth and her people and her animals and her plants. We came here as light workers and starseeds for just such an adventure. My job, your job, as a light worker and a starseed, is to just be. Sit in the burning pain of loss and grief and all the emotions that we feel as a human being and love it, because we don't get to feel that in other incarnations, other realms, other dimensions. We don't get to feel emotions. And sometimes we say, well, thank God we don't get to feel emotions, but guess what? I asked God to take it away from me when I was like 22. I said, God, I have too many emotions. I don't want to feel this. I feel everything. I'm crying all the time. I feel all this grief. And God said, okay. But here's what goes with it. Your intuition, your psychic abilities, your, like the Santa's list of stuff that goes with. I'm like, no, thank you. I came here to perfect my emotions. You came here to perfect your emotions. Well, that's what I work on every day, and I think I will be until the day I die. Turns out, the day I die, I probably just wake up in another reality and keep going. So I can just keep working on these, mastering my emotions. And once I can master my human emotions, I can claim the power of the living God and create the reality that I really want to be living in. I can't be trusted to create the reality I want right now. Why? I haven't yet mastered my emotions, but I'm getting there. And that's the whole theme. Self-awareness, authenticity. Right now, your job is to be you. You came here to be you. Stop trying to be other people's versions of you. Stop calling it, love and marriage, and these are my relationships, and these are my friends, when they're censoring you. They're putting you down. They're slamming you. They're controlling and guilt-tripping you because their shame body is triggered, because they haven't done their shadow work, because they're not self-aware. They're projecting all their stuff on you, and you're just sitting there and taking it. Cut them out of your life. Don't care who they are. Never talking about minor children. Cut out your adult children. Cut out your parents. Cut out your friends. Leave those marriages. You can't stay anywhere anymore where you are not your authentic self. You can no longer live the lie. You're sitting there talking about something. You're just, everything's just good. and your father or your brother or your adult children or your grandmother or your mother or your friend is like, oh my God, don't say that. Because I feel shame and I feel guilt. You need to shut up. I need to control you and everything you say and do and what you wear so I'll feel better about me. Okay? No more. You cannot have them in your life anymore. If you continue on, that's the timeline you're picking. You're picking a timeline of where anybody can say, hey, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to wear. This is what I want you to say. And so that I'll feel better about it. Okay, you're like, okay, because I really want you to like me. And then they leave anyway, or they die, or they whatever. You know, I mean, people ebb and flow in and out of your life. You're giving your life, your total life up for the attention or love or approval of someone else. And if they don't agree with what you just said or feel like it affects them, that's, well, first of all, it's abuse, codependency, all kinds of trauma bonding. But they're showing that they're not in your tribe, but you're forcing yourself to be in their tribe by lying to yourself about you. And then you're creating that timeline that exists where you're just their minion. You're a slave to their emotions. They're not doing the shadow work. They're not facing the truth. They're not looking at what they did to any given situation. They have an opinion. They have a trigger and it trips their pain body. And they ask something of you by slamming you, judging you, putting you down, distorting your reality, and you go, okay. And you want to please them, okay? That's you creating a reality. I believe in the power of the living God. No more lies. What are these lies now? Oh, we're not talking about the governments of man. We're not talking about the neighbors. We're not talking about the courts or the police or the hospitals or the teachers. We're not talking about all the busybodies out there lying. We're talking about you lying to you. No more. No more. No more. It is time. It is time. It is time. We are here. This is what we have waited for as light workers and starseeds. We can no longer preach it. None of it can we preach it that we can't walk it. We must walk the talk or shut the fuck up. It is time. No more. Every stone turned over, every corner lit up in ourselves. I am the projector of my reality. I receive reality. I create my own reality based on my own thoughts and my own beliefs. Even if those beliefs were given to me by the sins of others, I must look right at them and say, do I own them? No, I don't. I'm a victim of them. No more. No more. No more. I'm not a victim of them. I chose to experience that before I came to earth. I own it. But I also admit I do not prefer it. I do not prefer them in my life. I do not prefer to be censored. I do not prefer to be shamed. I do not prefer to be lied to. I do not prefer to be guilt-tripped. I do not prefer to be love-bombed. I do not prefer to be gamed. I do not prefer to be manipulated. I do not prefer to not have fun and pretend, oh, this is a good time. Please abuse me some more. Please censor me. Please bully me. Please ignore me. No more. No more. No more. No more. Will you sit down at the Thanksgiving dinner table with the family child molester and say, you know, he needs a place to have dinner? You're perpetuating what? The sin? The darkness? The victim? The abuser? You're perpetuating the timeline that you, with the power of the living God, are creating for you to live on. Every time you go to those dinners with people you don't like, that hate you and put you down all the time, and you call them family, and you hide the abusers, and you ignore the victims. No more, no more, no more. You got a choice point. I flashed on the Robin Williams movie, What Dreams May Come. Do you want to go to the dark side with them and die with them? You want to join them and stay there with them? And this sin is not about good or bad. It's about what is in alignment with your truth. Are you sitting down at a family dinner with known abusers and going, well, This is my belief. This is my truth. I believe this is good. Okay? Once you know the truth about something and you're in choice, and that's what we're facing globally here now, you know the truth. You know that you have a massive guilt and shame body. And you know that everyone around you has to walk on eggshells. Okay? You're like my mom. You got to win every board game. Everything's got to be about you. You got to find my stuff. Everything's got to be about Mommy Dearest to make her life okay. Can't wear what I want to wear. I can't say things about my spiritual beliefs. Can't say things about the person at the table next to me. I can't say things about the weather because it might trigger Mommy Dearest. And if she gets mad, I've upset her. I have ruined her day. I have made her not want to live. Mommy Dearest and all you Mommy Dearests out there are responsible for your own triggers and traumas. If someone says something about anything at all, especially something that's not about you, nothing to do with you, and you try to censor them, control them, and bully them, and they say, yeah, no, and then you feigns victim, self-awareness. What did you do to draw that situation to you? And if you're not around people who are willing to look at themselves, cut them out. If you have a negative, weird response to something, examine it later. Don't walk into a room and be like my mommy. All right, I'm uncomfortable in this room. It's your fault. The temperature of the room is your fault. What you're wearing is your fault. I don't like you because you're a lesbian. I don't like you because you say you're a reverend and women can't be ordained. I don't like you because you're not talking loud enough. I don't like you because you're talking too loud. Like, you got someone in the room who got to be pleased, who got to win every game, or they're going to throw a fit and break everything if they don't get it their way. And you still go into that room. You still go into that room and you still try to please them so you feel better about you. No more. No more. Your job is to be authentically you. If you're sitting there being authentically you and someone says, oh my God, like, that makes me feel really bad, and like, I'm hurt and I'm bothered and because of what I said about me, or because of what I'm wearing. I collected hundreds and hundreds of comments off of a TikTok video. I was going to make another video of it. People attacking me. The comments they said to me was just horrific. And the video was, this woman was very excited about her outfit. And she thought she looked cute. And she heads down to the beach and her husband says, oh, no. You're not wearing that. She's like, well, why not? She liked it. She thought it was cute. And he said, well, we're not going to the beach then. That's the exact stuff my mom did to me. If I've lost mom's lost her watch. We got to find it. Mom's upset. We got to make sure she's okay so she'll drive us to have fun, right? All this conditional, controlling love you learn as a child is love, okay? When you marry someone, they all of a sudden get to decide. Okay, I'd make some comments and be like, well, he doesn't really have a right to say that. Hundreds of people, mostly men, attack me. Yes, he does. He loves her. She don't know no better, and he loves her, so he's going to tell her what to wear because she don't know. And he knows men, and she don't know men because all those men at the beach might want her. So what? She thought the outfit was cute. She chose it. You want to wrangle her and be into being a version of her that's approves of you because you're jealous and you're insecure and you're not facing your triggers. Now, the men and the women, lesbians do this too, that censor everything that their partner wears because they're jealous and insecure. It don't go the other way. They wouldn't let the wife do that to them, right? And how do you know? Like, if she goes back to the room and she just wears a big black gown and a black face covering and just all covered up, that might be some guy's fetish. So your job is to be authentically you. And if everyone around you slams you for it and controls you, well, I got a marriage license. It means I care. It means I care because she's too damn stupid to dress herself. No more. You got friends. You got lovers. You got family, you got anybody in your life that's trying to tell you what you need to wear because that's a reflection on me. Bullshit, call bullshit on that. What you wear, what you say is not a reflection on your partner. Well, you got to be this way and that way because I want you to think that I'm respectable. Oh, really? What if I ask this of you? What if I ask that you got to be smarter? You got to think better. You got to wear something different. You got to do this and this. Would it be okay if I said that to you? Or is it just that controlling person that gets to be in charge of the room? Who do you have in your life that's like that? Who do you have in your life that you got to please? And that you do please? And walking on them eggshells, right? I still walk on them. I live alone. I've lived alone for a long time. I'm still walking on eggshells because of what my mother and my exes put on me. But I'm clearing all those eggshells out more and more and more, and there's hardly any of them left. Okay? If you don't like me, don't fucking call me up and invite me to do shit so you can try to control me. Yeah, if you see my picture online or you see me shaking my ass, and you think I'm kind of cute, fucking don't, first of all. Secondly, when you contact me, I'm a living, breathing human being. I got me a personality. I got me life experiences. I believe in the power of the living God. And some people call me Crazy Crystal. You don't know fuck all about me from my cute little booty shake. But you call me up because you imagine in your mind what you can form me into like a molded clay into whatever version of me that you want. Where you got that in your life? No more, no more, no more. Be authentically you. It doesn't matter who leaves your life. It doesn't matter how much crying you do. It doesn't matter if you're in the floor, all curled up in a ball of emotional pain. Sit in it. Feel it. It will pass. And on the other side of it will be your truth. Your true, authentic you. I claim the love of God. I claim the love of God. I claim the love of God! And I don't give two shits what you think about me! What difference does it make whether you love me or you hate me? Oftentimes that love or that lust or that thing you make up in your mind of who you think I am, you don't even like me. If you can't fucking tell that I'm fucking crazy before you fucking call me up, well, that's on you, babe. It's on you. The power of the living God is yours and you create your own reality, and I will not let someone censor me, and I will not walk on eggshells so that you love me proper like. I've been there, done that. Okay? Did that for decades of my young life. I can't believe I did it now. But those of you out there looking at your relationship and calling it love, that is not what it is. It is a situationship. It is controlling. It is the handler. It is a piece of paper, marriage, rules. Couple $100 in a day, you get married, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars in years to get divorced. And if you have kids, you got all that battle. It's a scam. It's just another way. It's like in the final Matrix movie. It's another way to keep you from being your authentic self. Keep you from your creator God power. The power of the living God only works when you're free to be you. How do you get to be free to be you? You. Let yourself free. Gone are the days of really, really being controlled. Right now, your partner's controlling you. There's 1,000 videos on YouTube to tell you about it. Those gals, even like the 90s and priors, they didn't know. They got some excuses. They didn't know that what their husband said wasn't true. They thought they were crazy. They thought they should dress a certain way and act a certain way because they wanted to please their husband. And if they didn't, they had no power of the purse. They had no credit. They had no way out. Or even us lesbians before 2015 when there's no gay marriage, no way out. But now, stop pretending, something's wrong. Stop being afraid to be alone. Google it. Get on YouTube, look it up. Okay, face what your partner's doing to you. Are you laying next to someone every night and feeling sad and miserable? Laying there wanting to die? I did. I tried every way I could think of for death to come to me. Even almost jumped out of a moving car 60 miles an hour several times. Carried around a pistol all the time in my 20s because I didn't want to be a part of it. I didn't know I could leave. You know. And you have tons of support on any YouTube video, any TikTok video, sharing your story or even watching others. You can't stay there. God, give me the money to leave. God, give me the path to leave. God, show me how to protect my children. It's a free will planet. You have to ask for it. But every time you go into a room, a family meeting, your adult sons, your teenage sons, maybe even teenage daughters, go into any room and they're like, oh, mom, or oh, you know, cover up. Or don't put that on your shirt. Don't wear a hat that says this or that. Don't let anybody hear you. Like, be quiet. Like, oh, I'm scared. Because they won't deal with their own triggers and traumas. They're stifling you, and you love them and feel responsible for them, so you stay in it. I could not believe it when I asked myself the question of why in the world was I willing to stay in situations for years or decades so someone else didn't get upset, someone else didn't get hurt, someone else didn't feel lonely, someone else didn't feel bad and like they wanted to die every day. I had no issue in the world with feeling it for myself. I had no self-respect, no dignity, no self-esteem at all. Complete fear and emotional turmoil that I would think to make them okay and right, I'm going to alter myself. Like I'm going to put myself in a different shape so they're okay with that shape. And then they need a new shape and a new shape and a new shape because they won't deal with their own triggers and traumas. I was just fine with protecting them so their feelings didn't get hurt and they felt loved, safe, and secure. Meanwhile, I didn't give that to myself. Give that to yourself. Why are you being kind to everybody else and not yourself? Why are you hating on yourself? Why are you going into a room and feeling all like happy and good and then they go, and then you say something and they go, what did you say? Or they can mishear you or they can hear you. Flip out. Break all the game boards. Flip everything over. Flip out. Have a fit. Ignore you. Be mean to you. Treat you weird, bad. Turn on you on a dime because of what they thought you said. Or because of what you said had nothing to do with them. Because it triggered their pain body. Their trauma bonding triggers their traumas and programs. It triggered them. So then you go, okay, I'm sorry. And you try to be a better you. At every age, as if you're a child. Because of those root wounds. Okay? Happens to men and women. I've found that oftentimes it happens with the male child or the female child that is an only child. The one that their mom puts all their emotional stuff on. Then later in life, we're like responsible. The more someone likes us, the more we're responsible for them emotionally. If someone is attracted to you and it's like, I love you. Like, I'm in love with you. And like, you know, you're just this so cool. And you're like, nobody I've ever seen. And all this love bombing and everything. You're like, then you feel obligated to them. So when they need you to wear a red hat, you wear a red hat. When they need you to wear black shoes, you wear black shoes. I'd be really comfortable if you would just, you know, wear your black shoes tonight. Like, otherwise, I'm going to get triggered and traumatized and freak out, and you're going to, like, upset me, and that's going to be, like, you know, you being the abuser and me being the victim. You know, just don't be you, okay? Be who I need you to be. And we're willing to do it. Don't do that anymore. Claim the power of the living God. Do you believe in the power of the living God? Claim the love of God. You are God. You are a co-creator with God. You are creating your reality. The more you pretend to be someone else's version of you, the more miserable you're going to be. You just lay there in bed next to someone that you don't want to be with because you're scared to be alone. But if you don't risk being alone and finding out and knowing who you are, letting you be you, your frequency field will never change and draw to you your tribe, your partners, your life experiences that are authentically you, because you're not being authentically you. Pick up the mantle of the power of the living God. Claim the love of God. Amen. And be true to you. That's where we're at now. We've been there for decades, but right now, that's it. Watch your life. Practice a thought for the next few days. There it is. Think of something. There it is in the YouTube or the TikTok. We're so freaking telepathy right now. We're so tuned in with the logarithm of the universe, of the creation, of the power of the living God. Every thought, we're manifesting it. We're manifesting whatever we choose to do. Are you choosing you? Or are you choosing to please people around you? Are you choosing to be your version of you? Or are you choosing to walk on eggshells and please them every whim, and then their whim changes? I need you to talk like this and this. Okay, I'll do that. Then you get somewhere, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute. Change it up. You'll never know. I never knew when Mommy Dearest was going to go off. I never knew. Created a lifetime of fight or flight, because I never know when the woman next to me is going to go off. Never, ever know. I don't have a script to tell me what I can say or what I cannot say. I don't have any clue in the world what topics are off limits. I have no clue what's going to trigger, none at all. Fight or flight, boom, 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 never know when she's going to turn on me. How do you feel safe in that? You can't. You can never feel safe if you bank on the safety being, okay, I'm now around you and you're going to be nice and good to me, right, and safe. Right? You want the person to be the same every day for the rest of their life? That's controlling. No one's safe to be around. You need the grocery store clerk. You need the people in the parking lot. You need your husband, your adult children. You need your mother-in-law. You need everybody to be safe or you're not going to be around them. Well, guess what? When you're walking with the power of the living God, when you claim the love of God, you got some safety every fucking day. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe, and I claim the love of God because I'm safe for me. I walk into a room, and Susie Q says, you're making me feel bad by what you're saying, and you're just too happy and too bouncy, and can you just tone it down, put a coat on, cover up that business, and don't say this word, don't say that word. I'm safe because I'm like, see you later, bye. Okay, but I'm not safe if I'm not giving myself the safety and going, okay, I change, I cover up, I change the words, and then I accidentally say some word that wasn't on the list, boom, she's triggered and she does it again. How far are you willing to go to placate someone or please their triggers and traumas and ignore yourself, okay? You may have been doing it for decades. Well, it's done. You can't do it anymore. Your life's going to be rearranged every day now. The logarithm is real and a big deal where you focus on what you believe, okay? Are you going to keep conforming into what someone else needs you to be? Because it's impossible. You want to be safe in every room. You want to be safe in your bed. You want to be safe on your couch. You want to be safe all the time emotionally. I got you, babe. I got you, babe. Do this to yourself. I got you. I got you. You gotta got you. You gotta got you. You gotta got you. If someone is abusive to you and saying stuff to you that is abusive to you and you don't prefer it, leave. If someone's in a room talking about something completely unrelated to you and you're triggered, oh my God, it's all about me, and you can't control that trigger, don't put it on them. Just be like, if you came there with him, whatever, be like, I'm really triggered. I don't feel well. I need to go or whatever. Don't pick up all your piles of shit and triggers and big pain body and all your stuff and throw it in their backpack. You got to deal with you. There's always going to be a new person that's going to show you, mirroring you, mirroring you, mirroring you. Are you willing to be your authentic self? You want to be safe all the time? Give yourself the gift of safety. There may be situations where you have to fake it for a minute or two. You may be in physical or life and death danger. I don't know your situation. But ask for your guides and angels to assist you. Call in the power of the living God. Call in the violet flame, Mother, Father, God, Jesus Christ, Christ consciousness, Mary Magdalene, Goddess. Call them all in. Tell Spirit, tell your guides, tell your own ears what you want. Ask for a way out. But stop pretending you're somebody you're not. So that somebody who doesn't like you or approve of you will tolerate you. No. Okay? Right now, we're in New Earth. We have amazing possibilities in front of us in this New Earth. But we have to be willing to be our authentic self. If I can't be me, I can't create the reality I want. Right? You picture yourself, you have your universal ID and you walk up to the universal master and you give them your ID and they're like, oh, hey, hi, okay, hi. And you go in your door that's you. If you're not being your authentic you, you're going to go into a door that's not you, where you're still trying to please some new person. And it'll always be some new person. Some new person will always come into your life and control you, manipulate you, so they don't have to do any of their self-reflection. So in order to be safe all the time, I got you. Look in the mirror and go, I got you. I got you. Protect yourself. Don't be willing to ensure that they're okay. I'm not going to leave them even though they do this and this and this because I want to make sure they're okay. Nobody likes them. They like me, and I want to make sure they have friends. I'm the one that creates the money. I'm going to stay. I'm going to help them create the money. I'm the hero. I'm the victim. I'm the whatever in the relationship. I'm going to stay. Okay? All your reasons for prostituting yourself to stay in a situationship that you don't want to be in prolongs the life you crave at your core of constant peace, of joy and fun and laughter and play in just the way that you want. Your divine, sovereign, individual self craves to live a reality that is of peace. You can't have peace and fun and joy and bliss in the life you want if you continually are telling the universe and your own ears that you're willing to alter yourself all the time based on any new person that comes into your life, or your mother, or your exes, or your adult children, or the newspaper, or something that comes along the internet. You're willing to change every day, all the time, to please something in other people or in society that isn't your authentic self. That is keeping you from living the timeline you want in bliss and peace and joy and laughter and abundance. It's keeping you from your new supernatural gifts, all that's available to you right now. The logarithm is ready. What do you believe? When you have an emotion that comes up and it feels creepy, say to yourself, what must I believe to feel this emotion? What would I have to believe to feel like this? Really get to the bottom of it and then go, well, for me, I'm like, no, I don't really believe that. So then you realize it's not your belief. Or sometimes you'll believe a certain way for you and you'll realize you don't believe that for anyone else in the world but yourself. Low self-esteem, there's a lot of things that factor in. But you clear this off layer by layer the more you're true to yourself. And the more you try to please other people that cannot be pleased because they won't do any self-reflection or self-awareness, they can't do it. You have to remove them from your life. You have to cut the dead wood out. You're not responsible for them. You're responsible for you to be safe with yourself. Okay? Letting someone into your life, you're all married up, decade can pass, you don't have any way out of it. You might get wrapped up in homes, you get wrapped up in credit, you get wrapped up in bills or children or all kinds of stuff. How do you get out of it? Well, right now, talk to Spirit and ask for ways out of it. But the choice point of not getting into it is where some of us are at. To be able to trust ourselves that we're not going to let someone else's version of us trump our version of ourselves. We're not going to let someone else, what they need me to be or say, to conform me. People will walk into your life and they'll see an image of you. Okay? Let's use the example of, I've seen recently this guy was really into gaming and he was gaming all the time. He had his life and stuff the way he liked it and spent most of his time gaming. I think he made his money online and everything. Met this woman, I think at some event, probably unrelated to gaming. And she, knows he's a gamer. She knows all these things about his life. She falls in love with a version of him that she's made up in her mind. Falls in love with the idea of controlling him and changing him, right? So she love bombs and placates him and, this and that. And then they get married, and then she starts bitching about his gaming. Starts controlling him. I know a guy that did this with a boat too, made him get rid of his boat. You got to choose. You want me or the boat? You want me or gaming? Right? So then, depending on whatever life experiences he's had, if he's willing to conform himself, and gaming's just one example. What are you willing, what do you want on your walls? How do you want to live? Is your partner manipulating all of that and you're not able to express yourself at all? So the guy was like, he was stunned because she didn't, all the things that she knew about him, and I've had this happen many times over the last 20 years, right? And all the things she knew about him, she plotted to change. And as soon as they were married, she pushed for that. Guilt tripped that, withheld love, withheld sex, withheld, trips, or, depending on money situation, games and control all the time, to where he just gave up what he loved because he couldn't take the emotional pressure from his partner. I've seen it in gay men. There's a gay guy on TikTok talking about it all the time, his big divorce, right? This, people will see you, and I'm guilty of it too. You misread things. You don't really know somebody. It takes quite a while for them to kind of show themselves, but you know yourself, right? And so that's the moment you turn around. The minute that person, married or not, when they say, they know that you're into that. The gaming is the example. And the minute she says, you got to get rid of gaming or it's gaming in me, I'd be like, well, I'm going to choose gaming. Okay? Because with the gamers, I've never been a gamer, but that's like their life, right? But for me, like my blogging, my different stuff on the computers, there's different things that I've done in my life that people will come in and be like, they'll know that about you. But then when they get with you, they want to change it. Or it was like 6 years ago, I met someone, I told her I wanted to be poly and I wanted all these different things I wanted in relationship stuff. And she had in her mind all these ways she's going to control, right? And they have this femme bush thing where a lot of them try to do the traditional male-female role where the woman tries to control the men. The femme woman will do that. Went along with everything I said. And then as we got kind of nearer and nearer into moving in together, this was like 6 years ago, then luckily it was before we moved in together, she started talking about how she didn't want any of that. Right? And she'd come over to my place and like sit on my lap and be like, I don't this and I don't that, and withholding. She would withhold affection. She would withhold like communication. She already was manipulating me and already controlling me into being, okay, well now we want to be monogamous and now we want to be this. All the things that I didn't want my life to be. Traditional male-female stuff and everything that she wanted, that she knew I didn't want. She was wrangling me into her version of me. And just before she moved in with me, I was like, I don't think so. But I didn't say that. Now, you get stronger and stronger in that. What I said was other things that made her change her mind. Because, I didn't want to do that myself. And so, so, and we're all, I guess, guilty of that, right? In a way, like making up in our mind a version of what we think people are. But, stay in the radical now. Get to know people. Get to know them. Just, visit. FaceTime. I absolutely do not recommend long distance relationships. And if you do have them, FaceTime every day, FaceTime all the time so you can get reactions and get things like, and if you're not even FaceTiming and you're just leaving messages back and forth on Facebook, you're not getting real-time reactions and actions, and people are falling in love, and they wait years, they're in monogamous relationships for years, they're long distance, and then they meet, and they're like, see you later, bye, right? So, I pray for you, and I pray for me, everyone out there, that you don't get in situations with other human beings where you're trying to please them and not being your authentic self. It's a death sentence. And it's so, for me, it was so mesmerizing, hypnotizing, whatever. I don't even know the word for it, but I couldn't see outside of it. I couldn't see a way out of it. I didn't know that I could just get in my car and drive somewhere and live in it and start over. I didn't have a clue. Right? I didn't know. Really is life or death for you to be your authentic self. And if people leave your life, well, that's great. Okay. If you have someone in your life trying to control you or saying, well, I'm married to you, so everything you do and say is a reflection of me. And if it triggers me and my trauma, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm just going to make you stop doing it. Yeah, even if you enjoy doing it. Okay? You got to say no. You got to be your own constant. You got to have your own six, as they say. You got to be your own ride or die. You got to be your own safe place, okay? And that's what I'm learning to do, is to be my own safe place. And I wish that for you too. Amen. Bye for now.